Good afternoon, this is David Wendell with Bushcraft on Fire, and we're back down at our semi-permanent shelter. We've made a few additions here and a few little changes, and so I want to show you those. One of the big problems we had was trying to figure out how to get the stove pipe through the wall without burning the shelter down. I had the shelter lit a couple days, or literally had the shelter lit, no. I had the stove lit a couple days ago, and the shelter was starting to get very hot on top. So I wanted to turn the chimney out earlier instead of going directly up. So here's what we came up with. What we did was put some rocks here, and I really got to thank Dew because he helped me carry these. This rock weighs about 300-400 pounds, and we built these up in a layer. And what we did was to put our stove where it's going to be, and we made a chimney that came out on an angle. I just cut another can here with a hole in the side that these would fit through, and we'll go back and put the stove putty around them to keep that from smoking out. And the smoke should come up in here, run along this chimney, and then out here we'll go back up. Up here right above the chimney top, or right above the top of the chimney here, we'll put a little cover that'll keep it from getting wet. What we did here was where this comes through these rocks, we've put a couple smaller rocks, and we're now filling it with sand. We're actually getting some sand right now as we speak. So let's get some more sand in there, and we'll get back with you as soon as we put some sand in here, another rock on the top to cover this, and we'll close in with the stove black some of this. You can also note that we painted the stove with stove black as well. And so we'll get that cement around here. We scrape that off, put some stove black on there to protect it a little bit, and we're going to light a fire in this and see how it works today. We won't have this chimney going up, but I think we'll get draw even from right here. So let's get this worked up a little bit more, get this top on here, and we'll come back with you. Now while we're working that stove, let me show you a couple other things that we've done to improve this shelter. If you can see, we've closed in this side and the front end over to where the stove's going to be. We've just put logs in here, and we're going to go back and throw some more in there. We're probably not going to make this airtight. It's not going to be a real important thing, especially with that fire blasting in there. It's going to be pretty warm. So I'm not too worried about airtight here, but I did want to get it so it was closed off. Also, our leaves, because we've had 2 weeks of rain, have started to compress down a little bit, so we're going to throw some more leaves on the side, a few more leaves on the top. Other than that, it's working pretty well. But let me show you while Tam was out in the river while we were looking. This is a piece of flint, and this has been worked. She picked this right up out of the stream. Natives broke a piece off of this. This is a cobble, and they actually broke a piece off of this and worked this probably into an arrowhead or something many years ago. That's a cool find. We also found some quartz down here, which is nice. I call these firestones. There's fire inside quartz. And so 2 good finds that Tam made while she was walking down in the stream while we were getting ready to shoot this. So let's get back to the shelter and show you what we're going to do. Well guys, it looks like it's working. We got the smoke out the top. Now we did not put the stove black around here because we're excited. We wanted to see if it will work. We want to see how hot these rocks are going to get before we go to a lot of trouble. So you can see we've got plenty of smoke coming out the back end there. And inside, let me shut up this door. Now we haven't made any modifications yet on the door. We're still considering to put that stove black on, the stove stuff on there. But if Tam can get close in here, you can see there's no smoke coming here. And I may not end up putting a ridge around there because that might help draw air in and keep the thing going. So it looks like we got a stove, guys. Looks like we have a stove. Looks like it's going to work well. The heat is just pouring off of that, and it's only been lit for about 2-3 minutes. So it's going well. We got a good fire in there, and you can see the smoke's coming out where it should be. Now what we're going to do is I will take this chimney and turn it again and come up about a foot above. So maybe 4 cans here. And that won't be too awful hard to do. We'll just put this in here and let the chimney come up. It'll draft a little better that way. But it's actually doing pretty well just coming through that rock right now. And this is going to be our door in here. We'll frame this out. And we may put a hide over this or some kind of a mat that we weave over top of this. We want to keep it where it's not on top of the fire. And back in here, if this stays cool enough to allow us to do this, which I think it will, we will end up putting some more sticks. We may put another row of rock up here. Just close this in a little bit up here so that it doesn't get any problem there. So we're getting there. We're moving out and coming down here to live in a shelter, I think. It's dry inside. It's nice after 3 or 4 days of rain, so we know that we're going to be in the dry. We know now we have a working stove, so it's cold, then we're going to have it warm.
What you doing, Ray?
Well, me and my sister, Becca, I was putting rocks down, and my sister helped me get handfuls of mud, and she's helping me put the rocks on and pack them together with mud, and I'm going to try to make a little rock house.
Alright, you can see that I've got a pretty good fire going inside this hobo stove. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ball up some leaves. I don't want a lot of flame. What I want is smoke. So I'm going to ball up some leaves and push down in there. And actually put the flame pretty much out for a minute. And we're going to smoke this shelter. We're going to keep it away, but let that smoke go up into all of the leaves and stuff here. What that'll do is help bring the insects out. As long as I stay down kind of low, then I'm not going to have any problem with me getting smoked out. I want to stay down just a little bit lower, and I want to keep this far enough away that I'm not going to run into any problem burning the shelter down. You can see it's flaming up a little bit. That's alright. I just put it down on the ground. And we'll let this fill up with smoke for a little while. And what that'll do is draw the insects out. They don't like that smoke. So the spiders and the insects and the bugs, they'll all start coming out of there. And once that we get it smoked out real good, then we'll be able to not have to worry about having a lot of insects in here. So we appreciate you being with us on this episode of Primitive Shelter. And join us again for another video real soon. This is David Wendell with Bushcraft on Fire, hoping that you have a great day.